Hey guys, welcome to another video in the 5 million gold from scratch challenge, where I go over everything that has made me gold in the past week. I had a lot of people requesting that I add timestamps for each profession, so you will now find timestamps in the comments and description of every video in this challenge series. I even went back and added them to all of the videos from before this week as well, so if you've missed an episode in this series, it will now be easier than ever to go back and see my gold making methods that I've been using to make my millions of gold. Now, even though there will be timestamps, I still find these videos to be a bit too long, so let's get right into the gold I have earned this week. In the last video, I ended off at 2,140,000 gold, and this video I am starting at 1,832,000 gold, which means I spent a little under 308,000 gold during the week. That is actually one of the lowest amounts of gold that I have spent during a week, and I did kind of explain why that is in the last video, so if you have yet to check out the last video, it will be popping up on the screen right now. But let's go over the gold that I have earned this week, and the first character we have is the Dual Gatherer, Herbalism and Mining. I will be going over what I have earned using my second account through dual boxing at the very end of the video. I am keeping them separate. I do not want the second account to count towards the Brutosaur, so everything you see in this mailbox was gathered purely with this one toon. Another quick thing to talk about is I have spent a lot less time this week actually reposting my auctions through professions, and I have spent a bit more time actually going out and gathering using this toon. So I usually spend about 3 hours a day reposting and recrafting everything across all the professions, but instead I've been spending between 30 minutes to an hour a day reposting all of my auctions and not really recrafting too much that I sell, and I've been spending the other 2 to 3 hours out and actually gathering. So let's see if the extra time gathering has actually paid off this week, and what I have earned is actually a bit more than 188k, even though that is still quite a bit, but we have 132 mails to go over, and we can only see the first 100, so we actually made more than 188,000 gold, and we'll be able to see that once I collect up this first 100. Let's see what I have went out and gathered and sold. So I did a lot of BFA herbalism, just because those farms have a lot of variety. You get pretty much every single type of BFA herb within a single farm. So I did do a bit of gathering in BFA, just so that we have all that variety on the auction house and have a bit more sales. So I did sell some star moss. I have some anchorweed, 104 for 7.4k, so those are going for about 75 gold each right now on my server. Right here, Zenithid, I have 500, which is about an hour's worth. Actually, that's exactly an hour's worth of Zenithid, and I sold that for 23,000 gold, so that's about a 23k per hour farm on my server at least. Moving along, we have some fell iron bars. So I've been doing a lot of fell iron ore gathering this week, just because for some reason fell iron ore has been really selling faster than some of the BFA ores on my server. So I've definitely been spending a bit more time doing some fell iron gathering, and you can see 70 bars is 6.5k, so they're almost 100 gold each in terms of the bars. So if I take 2 fell iron ore and I turn it into a bar, that's 100 gold pretty much. And then moving along, we have more. So here's just actually the ores right here. So you can see these are about 50 gold each, so they're about half. So it is pretty even, I guess, when it comes to making the bars. But what I like to do is I like to have a good stock up of bars, and then if I have what I feel to be too many bars on the auction house, then I'll start selling the ores straight up. So I have both. I'm getting basically twice the chance of selling the same exact material. So that's the way that I do it. And you can see 68 for 3.3k, like I was mentioning, that's about 50 gold each. Fell steel bars, so if you get Eternium, which you do while gathering fell iron, it's kind of like the additive ore or the byproduct you get while farming fell iron. If you turn those into Eternium bars, and then you can combine those with the fell iron ore bars, you can make fell steel, which is even more profitable on my server. So you can see 20 for 13.2k. So yeah, that's why I've been doing a lot of fell iron ore farming, because with just fell iron ore, like just farming pure fell iron ore, you get so many different materials, just the same as with the BFA herbs. And that's kind of what you can see the theme that I've been going with, just trying to spend my time doing one farm that gets me a bunch of different materials that I have more chances to actually sell. And that's, if you're gathering a lot, that's kind of how you have to do it, in my opinion, at least on a medium pop server, because the sales aren't that frequent. You really have to kind of be creative with how you're trying to sell your materials. So moving up, we have Primal Fire. That comes from fell iron ore. Again, just a byproduct that you get while getting the fell iron ore. So you can see it's quite a bit gold per hour on my server, at least. So 5 of those for 2.3k. More anchor weeds right here, 136 for 9.5k. Star moss again, 1.9k. Riverbud, 1,000. 709 Siren's Pollen for 10,000 gold. So you can kind of see what I was doing this week. A little bit of Xenanthid. I did just the smallest amount of Xenanthid. I probably did 2 hours max. So there will be a little bit of Xenanthid in here. And then it's pretty much the same. We got some Starlight Rose. This is kind of just what I was gathering while doing some Suramar questing. So it's not really anything that I went out and gathered specifically, but 183 sold for 6.7k. That means I should probably go out and farm some Starlight Rose and see if it's good gold per hour, because that's quite a bit of gold per Starlight Rose. That's what, almost 60 each. So yeah, those are pretty expensive as well on my server. We have Volatile Life. These come from farming up Whiptail, Ashar's Veil, Heart Blossom, all the Kata herbs. So I have a ton of Volatile Life. I probably have like 3,000 up on the auction house, just because I do so much Kata herbs gathering. So I am slowly selling my stack of Volatile Life, and 125 for 2.1k. So they're pretty cheap on my server. What is that, like 20 something gold each? So they're not the most expensive, but it is just additive gold pretty much. So here we go. Here's some Ashar's Veil and Stormvine that I was just mentioning. So Kata herb farming. All 3 of these come from the same exact farm, right? So Ashar's Veil, Stormvine, and Volatile Life. Those all come from the same place. And then right here we have more Siren's Pollen, 601 for 13.7k gold. And then Fell Iron Bars again, 179 for 20.8k gold. Heart Blossom, I was just mentioning that from Kata, 753 for 21k. So this is an hour's worth of Heart Blossom, 21k. And then you also get the Volatile Life. So that's why, in my opinion, older herbs and older ores are much better to gather than current content if you're on a lower pop server, just because they sell for so much more than the actual current content materials. Winter's Kiss right here, 1.3k of those for 8.5k gold. So you can see these are, not that much each, about 8 gold each. They're probably the lowest valued herb for most people because they are the easiest to get. And that was just the first 100 males. You can see pretty big stacks right here throughout the week just from gathering. So pretty much once a day, I'm selling at least something for 20k plus. So yeah, I've been spending a bit more time, like I was mentioning, gathering. So let's actually collect all this up, and we got to see that last 30-something males. We will be able to tell the difference because it should stop once it's collected exactly 100 males, and then we'll have the last, 33 or 32 left over. It is pretty slow, so for some reason, I don't know, we can take this moment to talk about this. Has your guys' TSM just been very, very slow recently? It's been lagging my game. It's been causing disconnects. For some reason, just like the past week or two, TSM has been really underperforming, at least for me. So I don't know if that's happening to anyone else. But as you can see, the last, 36 males, I don't know, I guess because some of these aren't actually sales, so that would be why. But the last 36 males is an additional 97,000 gold. So we made, what is that, like 260k, a little over 260k this week just through gathering. So like I was mentioning, though, I do spend about 2 hours at least a day now gathering. So that's 14 hours pretty much for 260k. So it's not like the best gold per hour, but I have so much that hasn't sold that it is actually amazing gold per hour. And this is just with one tune. This isn't even including like the dual boxing or anything like that. So if you spend the time gathering, you can definitely make a lot of gold per week. So going over some of the other things that I have sold. So Volatile Water, 28 for 2,000 gold. Viperfish 93 for 8k. This is an hour's worth because I did have to level up cold tier and fishing. I did dual box gathering or fishing Viperfish. That was pretty fun. So I did gather basically twice this amount, but both my druids had level 0 cold tier and fishing. So the first like 100 levels, you're picking up a lot of trash items. So this isn't exactly like an hour's worth if you are actually properly prepared for fishing Viperfish, but it was a decent farm nonetheless. They were selling, someone reset the price for like 200 gold each, but then they quickly dropped. So by the time I actually sold the Viperfish, they are definitely not worth 200 gold each. What is this? This is less than 100 gold each for the Viperfish. So I did farm because they were super high priced, but then by the time they sold, the farm was not the best. But moving on, we have more Heart Blossom, 469 for 20k. That's 300 less Heart Blossom for pretty much the same amount of gold, I think. So yeah, same with the Xenanthid, 546 for 22k. That's a little more Xenanthid than the other mailbox, and the same exact amount of gold. So the price fluctuations, you can see them throughout the week. Whiptail 699 for 21k. So Whiptail, this is an hour's worth of farm once again. So it's any of the Cataclysm herbs on my server is about 30 to 40k gold per hour, and they do sell. Pyrium bars, 52 of these for 9.9k. I get these while doing Whiptail farming, so that's just extra gold. Anchor weeds, 5.7k for 87 of those, and that's pretty much the only things we're really talking about. So another 97k, like I was mentioning, what was that, like a little over 260k. I'm not obviously doing the exact math, but we will find out by the end of the video. But either way, that was quite a bit of gold for a gathering. That might be the biggest week for gathering on this tune, so hey, I'm happy with that. Moving on to the next character, we have my Enchanter, and my Enchanter has earned 57,789 gold this week, which is a little less than, or actually kind of a bit less than last week. I think last week I was pulling, I know it was over 100k, but I'm pretty sure it was nearly 160k last week, so a bit less than last week. But there is just a lot more competition this week on my server because, well, I would assume a lot more people are indoors and actually playing and have the time to just sit on the auction house all day, every day, doing nothing but cancel scanning. Like, there are people that don't play the game outside the auction house. They will just post all their auctions, recraft everything that they have to craft, and then for the rest of the day, they'll just keep cancel scanning. Every minute, they'll just, be watching a show and cancel scan. And I think that's just what's been happening. And also, another quick note, or side note, is that if I sound a little stuffed up, I think it's just because of spring and allergies and stuff like that. So if I sound a little different, it's a little stuffy in here. But let's go over what I actually sold this week. So I sold a bit of Enchant Ring Accords, all the different versions. They are selling for a bit less this week. Last week they were selling between 1 to 3k gold. This week you can see they're selling for about 800 gold each, sometimes 900 gold each. So they have dropped in price. That's pretty much going to be the story, to be honest, for quite a few things, just because of what I just explained with everyone being inside. Right here we have an older, I think this is from Cataclysm Enchant Weapon Heart Song. So this is a Cata enchant, and I sold it for 5.7k in gold. So that just shows, you gotta check out the older expansion crafts as well, not just BFA stuff, because a lot of the times, if you're on a lower pop server like I am, the older stuff is way more profitable. But here's actually even more older stuff right here. Enchant 2 Hand Weapon, Mighty Agility. I think this is also Cataclysm, maybe even Classic or Vanilla, I guess, crafting. And I sold 2 of these for 3.6k in gold. So yeah, definitely check out older stuff here. This is definitely from Cataclysm because it says Tome of Illusions Cataclysm. 1 of these for 3.3k. And then we have some enchant weapons from BFA, so the versatile, or the navigations, I mean. Once again, these are kind of dropping in price. These are 1k each, but these were like 2 to 3k each last week, and that might be another reason why last week was so great, because also the prices hadn't tanked yet. But Mark of the Satyr, right here, enchant neck. Mark of the Claw, enchant neck. These are Legion enchants. definitely do your Legion enchanting questline to get just the base enchants. You don't need to be going out and getting anything more, to be honest, unless you want to. But if you just do the questline alone, you are going to get these enchants, which are very profitable, especially when is everybody inside and leveling right now because of the leveling boost. These are the best enchants for heirlooms for your neck, so these are definitely going to see a uptick during the next few weeks while everyone's leveling up their alts and stuff like that. And then another Legion enchant right here for the shoulder, Boon of the Scavenger. That was 1,000 gold on my server. And yeah, pretty much the same going up. It's all the same stuff, so it's again Mark of the Satyr, Mark of the Claw for 3.8k each. So I already went over those. And yeah, it all totaled up to just under 58k, which once again is kind of a bit lower than last week, but I mean, some weeks are going to be like that. That's why I spread myself across all the professions. So if one week is half the amount of gold that I earned than the previous week, it doesn't really bother me. Like, this doesn't bother me at all that I earned half of what I did last week on the Enchanter. So moving over to my blacksmith has earned 133,000 gold this week. The blacksmith I don't think has ever earned under 100k since patch 8.3. It's always been great every week. I still think it's about half of what it was last week, but like I was mentioning, it's just a lot more people are inside, and that doesn't always mean that you're going to make more sales, because that also means that there's a lot more competition as well, and actually a lot more people going out and getting their own stuff that they won't need to buy, because they now have the time to just get it themselves. So there's a lot of factors that come into play when you have everybody at home, and it doesn't just equal more sales for us gold makers. That's not really how it works, but either way, let's go over some of the things that I have sold. So I sold plate greaves, uncanny plate greaves for 12,000 gold. I don't think I've ever sold plate greaves for that much. That's kind of crazy. We also have plate boots for 5.7k from Uncanny, and we are actually selling some older world stuff. So I was leveling up classic blacksmithing, BC blacksmithing, Wrath blacksmithing. So I'm selling quite a bit of those types of transmog as well. So there's going to be a lot of those. I'm not really going to be going over them. Just understand that I am making them and I am selling them, so they will be adding to the total. Inflatable mount shoes, I've been selling 2 of these pretty much every single day, so I actually have been starting to make 5 of them, and I'll see if I sell all 5 in a day. These are definitely seeing a big increase in sell rates since people have been told to stay home, and that is because inflatable mount shoes allow you to walk on water through mount equipment. So, you know, people leveling their alts definitely want inflatable mount shoes. And these, you can see 2 of them for 5.7k. That's pretty good value. We have a shield and 2 shankers. The 2 shankers, uncanny by the way, go for 4.2k gold, and then the shield is going for 10.3k gold on my server. We have deck pounder. Well, okay, so we have a huge bunch of uncanny gear here. So I make all the uncanny gear. I don't really need to go over it all. I make every single plate gear, every single weapon. They all sell. They're all great value. Demon Steel Arm Guard, so this is actually from Legion. So even Legion Transmog gear is selling for quite a big value on my server. And yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest, because it's all uncanny gear this week. There's not really too much variety this time, so, you know, uncanny gear. Blacksmithing uncanny gear is always, like I mentioned, just great every single week. I've never made under 100k with my blacksmith because of uncanny gear specifically. Uncanny carries the blacksmithing. The model hardened stirrups and the model hardened hoof plates and the inflatable mount shoes, those haven't been really making me too much gold. It's definitely just been straight up uncanny gear, and this is all because I have so much gear that I crafted through leveling that I have no space, so I had to just send it all back to my blacksmith through the mailbox. So this is gonna stay here for a while until I have the space. Moving over to my leatherworker has earned 67,000 gold this week. Not too bad. We can see here a bit of uncanny gear has sold. You can see this week, which is better than usual. Usually uncanny gear doesn't really sell on my leatherworker. It's usually other things that carry leatherworking for me, but this week it seems like uncanny has seen a small spike. We have comfortable riders barding as well for 3.7k gold for a single one. That's pretty good. Drums of Fury, 100 for 4.3k, and then 56 for 2.1k. So Drums of Fury are actually picking up in sales, which is quite nice. because I have a lot of them, and I'm always happy when I get to get rid of at least a little bit of them. And you know, they are always for huge profit for me anytime I sell one, because I craft them for about 5 gold each, and I'm selling them for about 60 gold each, between 50 to 60 gold each. So yeah, they are definitely like 10x profit for me. So even though it's only in terms of like 4k or 2k gold and not like, you know, insane numbers, it's still 10x profit. You know, like it's still that. And then once again, as I was mentioning, uncanny gear, so we don't really need to talk about that stuff. I make all the uncanny gear, and then I mean, hey, it looks like it was pretty much uncanny gear this week, so maybe I have seen a small uptick in sales for people's alts, because usually uncanny gear is slow moving for me, and it seems like that's pretty much the only thing that has sold on both the blacksmith and the leatherworker so far. So uncanny gear has seen a small uptick. We have some shimmer scale diving suits right here, 6 for 1.7k. These are pretty negligible. You definitely should be crafting them. They just don't earn that much per week. But still craft them if they are profitable, because profit is profit. And then we're going to ignore all these embossed leather gloves. These were for getting level 75 vanilla leatherworking back when I was leveling up leatherworking. That's to get the Dark Moon Fair quest for the free 5 points, and yeah, I don't even know why I explained it. I was like, it doesn't matter, and then I explained what those were. But let's collect up this gold, and I mean, these characters are going pretty quick because it's pretty much no variety. It's all uncanny gear, and yeah, we'll just move on. Taking a look at my tailor's mailbox, my tailor has earned actually 155 mails, so we're gonna have to open up 2 mailboxes, but the first 100 was 65.7k gold. It's just like the Gathering Tune, where I have sold so many items that we need to open up the mailbox twice. And going over some of the bigger items, you can see it's a lot of small value items, but it is all adding up, because when you have you know, Ember Silk bags right here, for example, when you have 5 of them at 286 gold, you know, that's like 1.2, 1.5k gold profit. So even though not a lot of these are like large amounts in a single item sell, they are all adding up, and it is all making me quite a bit of gold per week. But going over some of those actual bigger ticket items, we have Uncanny Cloak for 7,500 gold. That's quite nice. Deep sea bags, you're gonna see a ton of these, obviously, whenever it comes to tailoring, because they are one of the best profiting items through tailoring. We have some more uncanny gear right here, cloth belt and pants. These are going for the smallest amount of gold. Between all the uncanny gear, cloth is the worst, at least on my server. So these are going for even less than 2k gold. And then a lot of deep sea bags right there in a row. That was probably 50 in a day, because I make 50 at a time. And actually, that is 50 because I don't have any deep sea bags right now on the auction house. So it was exactly 50. And then if we move up right here, more uncanny gear. Once again, though, it is for not that much, to be honest. Like, I'm crafting them maybe for 600 gold in terms of crafting mats, and I'm making, or I'm selling them for between 2 to 2.5k gold. So they aren't the highest profit when it comes to uncanny gear, but it is still good profit, you know, at least 1,000 gold each. It's just not as good as blacksmithing or leatherworking. That's my points here. And then again, the cloak, for some reason, even though cloak is free this patch, you know, just go out and do some quests for your what is it, a 470 cloak, I think it is, maybe 460. You get that for free, but for some reason the cloak is the highest priced cloth item when it comes to uncanny gear on my server. It's so weird, so weird. They're making like almost quadruple the profit of every other piece of cloth gear, and it is the only free piece you get this patch. So let's collect up this first 100 mails. This is actually going to take a little bit because it is individual items, so I'll just cut really quick to the next 55 mails. Alright, so here are the last 55 mails, and that is for an additional 18,500 gold. So if we add the two together, we had 65.7k, you can see right here from the first 100. So that's about 83k gold, I guess. 84k gold this week on the tailor. And let's scroll down. I still have such a large amount of tight spray linen that I'm still working through. I actually need to collect them pretty soon. They have 2 weeks before they expire, because it's taking me that long to get through them all. But yeah, I'm stocked up on Tides Per Lunan, I'll tell you that. And then, I mean, this 55 males, it was probably, it was nearly all 50 deep sea bags within a day again. So, like, it's almost every single mail is just deep sea bags. But there was a couple that I saw that are not deep sea bags. So we have otherworldly bags. Ah, man, someone came in. So this is one of the bad things about having a low or medium pop server. A lot of people are like, you have no competition. You can own all the markets when you're on a low or medium pop server. That is completely wrong. Sort of. You can own all the markets when it comes to a medium or low pop server. You can, and when you do, it is great. However, when just one extra person comes in and is making the same item that you are making, that kills it, because they, you're selling things for such high profits when you're by yourself that someone can just come in and slash the prices like crazy and still make a profit. That's what this otherworldly bag is. Last week I was selling these for 2.6k each, and they were selling at least 4 a week. But one person comes in, and they decide, hey, I only want to make 100 gold instead of 2,000 gold per bag. So they just make it for 100 gold profit, sell it for that. You can see 700 gold instead of 2.6k gold. And then, I mean, there's nothing I can really do about it because they're still making it for a profit. And it's like, it's not profitable for me to buy out their stock to reset the prices, because they can just keep making more and more because it's still profitable. It's just for, instead of 2,000 gold like I was mentioning, it's only for 100 gold. So that is one of the terrible things about being on a medium to low pop server, and it is not just complete glory when it comes to low and medium pop servers. Trust me, you can easily lose all your profits from just one single person. It's crazy. It is very volatile. But like I was mentioning, that is what, 84k gold on the Tailor this week. And yeah, we'll just collect this up, and I'll see you guys on the next tune. So moving over to my Alchemist has pulled in 728,000 gold this week. A single week, 728k. Biggest week on the Alchemist. Last biggest week was 670k, so we topped it by 50k this time. And yeah, I will be going over everything that I sold. There is a reason why this week is a bit more, and I will be going over that right now. Let's go over everything that we have sold to make that huge 728k for a single week. Abyssal Healing Potions, 357 for 30.6k gold. Almost 100 gold each, Abyssal Healing Potion. And they sell like crazy, so a huge chunk right there for 30k. We have some Draianic Invisibility Potions, 20 for 11.4k gold. I don't know why that happened, but it did. And yeah, that's crazy. And then right here, this is the reason why I have actually earned so much gold this week on this character. It is not exactly purely through alchemy, sort of. So Xanthid, you can see I sold 999 for 109,000 gold. The reason why I've been selling the Xanthid, you'll see as I scroll up more as well, but I have actually been selling my raw Xanthid instead of using it to craft, well, alongside crafting all the flasks and potions that I make each week on my Alchemist, because I talked to you guys about this for like the past 2 weeks, but it was definitely a majority of the last video. I did buy, I think it was 25,000 Xanthid for 35 gold each, and just 2 days ago, or yeah, I think it was 3 days ago, you can see right here, 27 days, so 3 days ago, someone reset the Xanthid price to 150 gold each. So remember, I bought 25,000 Xanthid for 35 gold per. So that was what, like 1.4 mil, I think it was, 1.6 mil maybe, in terms of what I spent. And then someone that is quadruple, right? Someone quadrupled the price. So if I spent 1.4 mil, that's, a Brutosaur in value of Xanthid. So I definitely tried to take advantage of that as much as I could, and I succeeded quite a bit. So, I turned, let's say, so that's 1,000 Xanthid, so I turned 35k into 109k. That's just one stack that I sold. Like, that's real, actual profit just from a single flip. And then as we scroll up, you can see I sold quite a bit. So another 1,050 Xanthid for 84k, basically 85k. So at that point, the price dropped to 85 gold each. So once again, 35k gold, to 85k gold. That's a 50k flip right there. Right above that, another 1000 Xanthid, 80.7k gold. You can just, I mean, I don't need to repeat myself every single time when it comes to like the 35k to 80k. You know, that's a 45k profit. I'm not going to do that every single time. Abyssal Healing Potions, 123, 123 for 10,000 gold. So once again, they're nearing 100 gold each. What is that, like maybe 80 gold each? So Abyssal Healing Potions are still definitely very, very profitable for me. And then as we scroll up, we got more Xanthid, 897 for 67k, 624 Xanthid for 46k. So yeah, I definitely profited a lot just from selling all the Xanthid that I had invested in the last 2 videos. So I'm definitely very happy that I invested in 25,000 Xanthid because it paid off. I already made half, basically, almost half of what I spent, I made in profit. And I still have, what is this, 12.6 thousand Xanthid. So I'm definitely doing quite well when it comes to my Alchemist and Xanthid specifically. We have Potions of Unbridled Fury, 135 of those for 32.7k. So these are definitely selling quite well. And then if we move up right here, I'm only going over the things over 10k, as you can notice. I'm not going, there's so many stacks for like 6k, 4k, 3k, 5k, 9k. There's too many to go over, so I'm only going over like the super huge gold amounts right here. So we got Greater Flask of the Currents 20 for 16.5k. For some reason, Greater Flasks have took a dip on my server. I'm still selling them for a profitable price, but they are not as profitable as before because, once again, just more competition. And then we have our last big stack, 804 Xanthid for 45.7 thousand gold. So if we collect all this up, so 728k, that's crazy. That's a huge amount this week. It was a few 100,000 just from Xanthid though. But if we take a look, if I collect all this gold, I can actually hover over the Xanthid and I can go over kind of like the stats of Xanthid and show you guys how much I've been buying it for and how much I've been selling it for, and just see exactly how profitable it has been for me. Just like, I didn't intentionally do this. I was not going to sell any of my Xanthid. I was just going to keep it for the next month or two and make all the potions and flasks that I would ever want to make, because 25,000 Xanthid is a lot of Xanthid. And yeah, it definitely changed its course and became a different beast when it comes to how much gold I was making from it. So if we look at the tooltip right here of Xanthid, you can see the purchased amount in the middle there. It says purchased average, which is the center value, gold value. I have purchased 84.8k Xanthid, which is so much Xanthid. I didn't even know that I've been buying that much Xanthid for the past few months. But I've purchased about 85k Xanthid for about 35 gold each. Like I was mentioning, I really only buy it unless it's 35 gold each. You can see that I have bought it up to 49 gold each, but that was probably maybe like 10 to 100, just a little bit that I would need, you know, when I wasn't fully stocked up back in the day. But if we take a look at the sold value now, so you can see the lowest amount I've sold a Xanthid is 40 gold each, and I've sold nearly 7,000 Xanthid, but the average is 74 gold each, and the highest is 237 gold for a single Xanthid. So you can see that I've doubled, if we just take the averages, the two middle numbers, 35 to 74 gold, I've always doubled my gold whenever I've sold a Xanthid compared to purchased it. And as you can see, the minimum buyout right now is still 58.8 gold each, so I'm still selling Xanthid right now. I'm actually kind of just trying to sell off all my Xanthid, because just doing easy math, I actually already have a Brutosaur in terms of gold value if I just sold all the Xanthid. That's not including all the other professions, all the potions and flasks that I still have overstock and still have on the auction house right now. Like, my auction house is still fully stocked up with all the potions and flasks that I would normally have. And if I only sold just the Xanthid, I would get a Brutosaur. So it is going to be coming very, very quick, guys. I don't know what this video is going to end off at. We're going to see at the end, but we might be very, very close just from this video. I'm not going to make any promises right now because I haven't done the math, but we might be very close just at the end of this video, and then maybe next video we get the Brutosaur. but I think it'll take still 2 to 3 weeks. I don't think it's gonna be at the end of next video. I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys and go over the Xenanthid flip that I've been doing. It's been crazy for me. Now taking a look at my Inscription/Cook. My Inscription/Cook has earned 207,000 gold this week. Always the second best profession for me, and in my opinion, the best profession is cooking, just because of how easy it is to make profit with it compared to alchemy. I talk about it every single week, and I'll probably always talk about it when I have the chance, because like, if you are struggling for gold, you're probably not doing cooking. I'm gonna be honest. Like, do cooking. It's crazy. Right here, 290 biltongs. These are just standard BFA food. I have these at either rank 1 or rank 2, and I'm selling 290 for 15.8k gold. They are so profitable. It's so easy to do cooking. 5 dubious delights, 1.2k gold. Baked potatoes, 3.9k. Once again, baked potatoes are just the standard 8.0 BFA food. You don't need any ranks, no reputations, nothing like that. Ghastly goulash, this is from 8.3, but it is one of the better 8.3 foods, along with kebabs, and 25 of these for 4.7k gold. Uncanny offhands through Inscription, 13.3k gold. Fire Eater's Guide, this is I think from Cataclysm maybe, but I did level up Inscription from vanilla through Cataclysm because I wanted to make the inks and flip inks, mill herbs from older expansions and then turn them into inks and sell the inks. So I had to level up, and now I have a bunch of crafting recipes that I can start making for Transmog and stuff like that too. So it turned out to be a good decision. Build tongs, more of these. Viridescent pigments, usually I don't sell these, but I sold 92 for 1,000 gold. That's probably making a lot of people question my server, like, who would spend 1,000 gold on 92 viridescent pigments? But apparently someone did. Usually everyone vendors these, but someone decided to spend 1,000 on just 92. Bountiful Captain's Feast, 8 of them for 17.8k gold. I don't sell a lot of feasts on my server because I'm on, I think it's the 4th lowest population server in all of the United States. So yeah, we don't have a lot of raiders on my server. Keep that in mind when you watch these videos. Like, my server is dead, and I make this much gold. Like it's crazy. But either way, I don't sell a lot of feasts, but I did finally sell some 8 for 17.8k gold. That's a lot. War Scrolls, selling a lot of those. Ultramarine Pigments, these were a turn-in, so I sold 1,500 of these. That's probably why I did. Big Mechs, those sell quite well each week. Baked Potatoes, more. Again, just baked potato. Like, these are not even any updated foods. It's just been the same food throughout the entire expansion, and they still have such a high sell rate and for a lot of profit. You can see these are almost 100 gold each on my server for the baked potatoes. They're in high demand. War Scrolls of Battle Shout, 35 of these for 16.6k gold. I need to make more of these because I only make 35 at a time. I'm probably going to bump that up to 50, make 50 of all the War Scrolls. Like a month ago, I wasn't selling any War Scrolls, but for the past 3 weeks, I've been selling my entire stock within the week, so I need to make more of those. More baked potatoes. I'm not even going to go over them anymore because there's just so many. It's going to be the same thing over and over and over. Kebabs, I was talking about these, 10 for 4.2k gold. That's a lot per kebab. They're definitely doing quite well. 160 Big Mechs for 6.2k gold. So Big Mechs have been dropping in price on my server quite rapidly, and also in terms of sell rates. I don't know why. But another 10 kebabs for 3.8k gold. A trinket from Inscription, the Compendium of Storms, 16k for one of those. Tomes of the Quiet Mind, I forgot to mention these. These are also very profitable through Inscription. And yeah, 42 of those for 12,000 gold. More ghostly goulashes, more compendiums. I finally sold some contracts, but as you can see, 2 for 393 gold. Not even worth mentioning ever. Contracts make me 0 gold. Although I probably would make gold if I had the 8.2 and 8.3 contracts, but I don't have them because I have all reps at neutral. I don't actually really ever play this character. I just craft for 10 minutes and then log off. And then I make 207k gold a week from, what is that, an hour and 10 minutes. If I do 10 minutes a day on this character and 7 days a week, 70 minutes for 1 hour and 10 minutes a week, I make 207k gold on this guy. It's crazy. Whoops. I clicked open all. I have a lot of materials like just stocked up in the mailbox. I meant to click sales. There we go. Let's collect up this 207k gold, and I will see you guys in the next tune. So moving over to my jewel crafter, I did mention earlier that I don't really get sad when it comes to professions because I'm spread out throughout them all. But, I'm pretty sad this week on the jewel crafter. I didn't sell anything. Like, just nothing sold. I made 16.6k gold, and, yeah, it was from 21 sage agates, so 21 of those for 12k gold, and then 6 versatile dark opals for 1.2k gold, and everything else is just such low value, not even worth mentioning. And yeah, this is the one tune that does make me a little sad each week, but you know, it's jewel crafting. It's to be expected to be one of the worst, if not the worst, profession in 8.3 for these lower pop servers. If you're on a high pop server, you know, you're still making quite a bit of sales probably through jewel crafting, but on these low pop servers, man, just no one needs gems. And you can tell, the sales have been going down each week, not up. I've been making less and less in gold. Last week, I think it was like 30k. The week before that was like 70k. The week before that was like 120k. So I've been pretty much making half and a half and a half every single week. And it's eventually just going to be like 100 gold in a week on this character at this rate. But yeah, nearly 16.7k gold on the jewel crafter. Hopefully it picks up soon. That way I don't have to be sad whenever I show you guys this guy. Now to go over the final tune on this account, and then we can total up how much gold we earned and see how close we are to the Brutosaur. We have the Transmog Seller. I still haven't farmed up any new Transmog, and once again it's been like a month since I've even touched Transmog farming. But even then, I made just about 65,000 gold through Transmog this week. So much more than my jewel crafter, it's crazy. Transmog is making more than an entire profession for me right now. So yeah, going over some of the bigger ticket items that I sold this week. I got quite lucky this week, actually, in my opinion. I sold a deviate hatchling for 7,000 gold. You know, you can easily Google how to get a deviate hatchling since it's a battle pet. A chest guard of illumination for 3,500 gold. I believe this comes from Wrath of the Lich King, but I could be wrong. I do believe so, though. It could be BC. Either way, we have these 3 schematics. Look at these 3 schematics. They carried this week through Transmog. They're not even Transmog, they're plans, but you get them from farming dungeons, which is why I sell them on my Transmog tune. So we got the schematic Ultra Flash Shadow Reflector, the schematic Quad Death Blow X44 goggles, and the Crashin' Thrashin' robot. I believe all 3 of these come from Zul'Farrak. I know exactly that Crashin' Thrashin' robot comes from opening up the graves in Zul'Farrak for all the zombies. So opening up those graves made me 20,000 gold right here. You know, 19.3k from one single sale. And I'm pretty sure that the Quad Death Blow also comes from those graves. It might be like a universal drop table and also comes from the mobs themselves. But just clicking on the grave, I collected up both of these schematics. And that one also sold for 14,000 gold. I don't exactly remember what I clicked on to get the Ultra Flash Shadow Reflector. But this, I believe, also comes from Zul'Farrak, and that sold for 6.3k gold. And yeah, that's pretty much the only ones really worth talking about, because those are the ones that I remember getting, and they're selling for the most. And yeah, I got pretty lucky this week, I would say, selling these schematics and that deviate hatchling. But either way, 65k on the Transmog tune, that's great. That's, you know, it's making on average 30 to 60k a week, and I don't even farm Transmog, so I'm always happy with the way that the Transmog sales have been going recently. Definitely more than the Jewelcrafter, I can tell you that. But yeah, so dang, I'm almost up to 250k on the Transmog tune as well. I have sent over like 100k to other characters when I needed the gold from this character. So this character is actually about 350k gold earned so far in this challenge series. But so yeah, I mean 350k from Transmog on a low pop, medium pop server. That's good for me. And but anyways, let's get out of that mode, the rant mode, and let's get into how much gold we're ending off this video, because I want to see it. I want to see how close we are to the Brutosaur. Once again, started this video at 1,832,000 gold, but I did end off the last video at 2,140,000 gold. So that's the number we have to actually beat. So anything over 2.1 mil is profit, and we are going to see exactly how much we profited. We are now at 3,479,000, just, rounding up a tiny bit, rounding up 46 gold. 3,479,000 gold. Dang. So I made 1,339,000 gold this week. Not opened, profited, made, like actually earned above what I spent. 1.3 mil, almost 1.4 mil in profit. That is the biggest week, like, by far. I've never actually really profited 1,000,000 gold. I've had a couple videos that, were titled 1,000,000 gold in profit because it was like 970,000 gold, so it was pretty, like, reasonable, to just round up to 1,000,000. But this time I really blew past 1,000,000 gold earned, and dang. And like I was mentioning, I still have half of all of my Xanthid that I'm selling right now. And yeah, I'm really glad that I bought that Xanthid. That's pretty much what carried this week and made half of all of my profit was just purely through Xanthid. Just flipping from 35 gold to between 60 and 100 gold each. So yeah, the Xanthid definitely played a huge role this week, and it was a flip. It wasn't really anything to do with crafting professions. It was purely buying it for one price, selling it for another. So dang, I am lucky that that happened, right? Because, I mean, we're gonna go over my second account, and my second account, it's still 705k that it owes me, basically, on this account, because I did spend 705k that I earned through this series right here, and I bought a second account, so that 705k I will be sending back over here. I don't think I have 705k on that account yet, so I'm not sending it over yet. But either way, by the time I make 705k gold on that second account, I'm already gonna have the Brutosaur at this point. Like, I'm not even going to need it that much. So yeah, I am going to be going over that, like I was mentioning, but I just want to relish in this real quick. Almost 1.4 mil profit. It was like 1.3 something. I already forgot. It feels so good. I'm so happy right now, guys. I really wish I wasn't like stuffed up and sick, because I would just be like so much more like energetic right now. I mean, I'm pretty energetic, as you can tell, but it's been a great week, I'll tell you that. And it's only been like 3 days since I sold the Xanthid, so it's been a great like 3 days. But yeah, I'm not gonna keep going over, like, repeating myself at this point. It's been a great week. Let's see what I gathered up on the second account. So here we are on my second account, and I did want to quickly mention that if you've noticed that I sound a little different, maybe quieter, and the video quality isn't as good when I record this character specifically, that's because I actually play my second account on my second computer. So, it's not as high quality as my main PC that I usually play on. So just keep that in mind when I am doing this last character. If it's any different than all the other characters, that is why. Either way, let's go over what I earned through gathering. I dual box, so whatever I gather on my main druid, I also gather on my second druid. So it's pretty much just a reflection of what I've already shown you through my first character. But I have, less restrictive auctioning operations on this character, so I make a lot more sales just for a little bit less profit. Because this character is pretty much just like, I just sell everything raw. I don't really craft anything. I just gather with the druid. I send everything that's in the druid's bags to this character, and then I just list it all in the auction house and don't even think about it. So I might make a bit more with this character. We'll have to see. And it looks like I am going to this week. We have 138 mil, so this is even everything that I earned. This is just the first 100. But the first 100 is already 266,000 gold. Also, I do cancel scan a little bit more with this character, because I can cancel scan on my second PC while I'm doing anything at all on my main PC. So I do list up a bit more on this character, so that could be why I make a lot more sales with this one. But everything's the same pretty much. I'll go over it all right now though. But either way, you can see that last week, when I showed you guys the first week, I made 260k the first week with this character. And in the first 100 mils, I've already made double what I have. So yeah, each week it seems like I'm making between like 250 to 300k just through gathering. It's kind of crazy if you just spend the time doing it. So we can see right here, Fell Iron Ore. Well, again, it's just going to be the same exact things. So Fell Iron Ore, 150 for 5.6k gold. Winter's Kiss, River Bud, all the same stuff. Let's go over the big stack. So Xanthid, once again, this is an hour's worth. It's the same exact amount. I think on my main druid, I sold 541. So I gathered up 2 more in the hour on this character. It's exactly the same. 25k for 543. It's pretty much a direct mirror. 1.2k Siren's Pollen for 19,500 gold. That's a huge stack to sell right there. More Siren's Pollen. Seems like Siren's Pollen was doing the best this week across both tunes. Anchorweed also doing quite well for me. 191 for 13,500 gold. I'm not going to go over every single one because I've been mentioning it's the exact same stuff. I don't even separate the transmog. Like, if I get a random green on my second druid, I just send it over to this guy. I don't even treat it as transmog. I just sell it for whatever the market price is, and you can see I sell like just random things. And then moving on, Star Moss also doing quite well. Whiptail, I sold it on my main druid. Guess what? I sold it on this guy too. 635 for 18,000 gold. Fell Iron Bars, Titanium Ore, 43 of those for 11k gold. Titanium Bars, 59 for 36.8k gold. So I didn't sell any titanium on my main druid this week, but I did farm up titanium, or I guess Serenite. I spent, I think, 2 hours farming Serenite this week, on both druids, since I'm doing it at the exact same time through dual boxing. And yeah, only this guy got lucky with the sales, but they both have the same exact inventory. So it was just kind of like RNG. Which character's gonna get bought from? You know, that's kind of how it is. And man, 59 bars for 36.8k gold. That is crazy. Volatile Life, 297 for 10k. So sold more Volatile Life on this guy. Riverbud, Cerulean Seeds, and the last big stack is Heart Blossom, 1,025 for 28.5k gold. Almost the exact same as it was on the other druid as well. So let's collect up this first 100 and we'll see the last 38. Remember, this is 266k, and then we'll be able to add them up together once this is all collected. And am I gonna break 705k this week? I don't know. We'll have to see what the last 33 mails are. It could be insane for 33 mails. Each mail could be like 20k gold. You never know. So let's just see. Let's collect it all up. And we're coming close here to collecting it all. It doesn't seem like it's going to be that much because we're already down to 90k gold. It's probably an additional like 50k, something like that. Yeah, 56k for the remaining 38 mails. So this week alone on this character, 266 plus 56. So I made, was that 272 and then plus, so I made 327k, or I mean 322k on this character this week. So it's quite a bit. 977 sea stock for 11k, another 145 anchor weed for 10k. I think that's the exact same amount, isn't it? That's weird. 138 Heart Blossom. So if you're farming Heart Blossom, I mean, you're saying it here. You've been saying it since the beginning of the video because I also showed you it on my other druid. Heart Blossom is great, at least on my server. I've made, what was that, like 70k this week from just Heart Blossom, if you add it all together. And then we have Starlight Rose once again on this character as well because I'm just following my main druid. Fell Iron Bars again, 11k. And yeah, so that's an additional 56k. Let's see what I total up on this account. So what was my main, I don't remember what my main account was at. It was at what, 3.4 mil? So let's see what I would have if I just sent this over right now, because once again, I'm going to keep explaining this so that way no one gets confused and no one says anything about it. But I spent 705k that I've made for the Brutosaur, and instead of, saving it for the Brutosaur, I decided to buy a second account. So I kind of borrowed 705k from my challenge series. I will be sending over that 705k back, and because there's no difference, like I'm borrowing it from the main account, basically, just because I want to try out dual boxing for my own personal purposes. If I make anything above 705k on this account, I will not be sending it over because that would actually be gold earned through multi-boxing, and people did not want me to do that. So I just gotta make sure that I explain that, like, every time until I get the Brutosaurs. That way people aren't like, you multi-boxed for the Brutosaur and we told you not to. Which, by the way, everyone said, you know, the majority of people did actually tell me to multi-box. Everyone wanted to see it. There was only like 2 comments that were like, don't do it. But, I mean, that's more than 0, so, I mean, people didn't want me to do it. So either way, 583k, and then we had 3.4 mil, so we're basically, actually, we are past 4 million gold, if I sent this over right now. That's crazy. So like I was mentioning, we can get it next week, the Brutosaur. Like, I think it might happen. I'm gonna aim for 2 weeks. I'm gonna say 2 weeks, because I don't want to, you know, it's better to underachieve than to overachieve. Or I guess, I don't remember what the word is for that, but expectations, there we go. I don't want to I don't even know the word for it. It's like over-expect. I don't know what that word is. I can't think of it right now. I'm kind of blanking, because there's just too much gold, too many numbers today. But either way, we're above 4 mil. We can get the Brutosaur next week. That's going to be crazy. It's going so much faster than I thought. And yeah, that's it for this week. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like, and if you haven't yet, click that subscribe button, plus the bell next to it so you can be notified whenever I upload a video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.